Eddie Hearn, when it comes to that matchmaking, he's somewhat of a genius because he was thinking of that Sugar Nunez fight with Anthony Cacace next, and that's what I was gonna put a video about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I said it on my live. I said I think Sugar Nunez should fight Cacace next. I think that should be a good fight. Even though I picked Josh Warrington, he lost. He went 12 rounds. Ain't nobody expect Josh Warrington to go 12. So, but especially after getting knocked out by Lee Wood. So he lasted longer than Cordina. I'll just put it that way. And that also goes to show that referee did a weird job. But Eddie Hearn had put out a message saying, "No, don't go to 135 yet, Cacace. I want to see you fight that Sugar Nunez fight. Have that fight happen. That'll be an excellent fight. That's a good idea." Eduardo Sugar Nunez has been looking good lately, and the competition he's been facing, it's been revving up. It hasn't been high competition. It hasn't been I'll say top 15 guys, at least probably 20. It hasn't been top 10 guys. But he's been facing some decent competition, somewhat watered down a little bit. But he's been getting himself up more and more in the rankings. And I think his opportunity is being close to being made. But now he needs a different opponent. And I thought the Cacace fight would have been excellent. Cacace has been at that weight class for a long time. I've been telling people it's a lot of guys that have been sucking themselves down as far as the weight to a certain level for a while. Even Rafael Espinoza, he's been at 126 for a minute. Josh Warrington was at 126 for a long time. He was down there for a while. So with him going to 130 recently, I knew he was going to have more power. But that just goes to show you, he put so much on his body trying to make that weight year after year after year. And Cacace, he was like more so thinking about making weight the next time than actually enjoying his win. Bro, it's bad when a guy would just won a huge fight, his first title defense, and he's thinking about, man, I'm possibly gonna go to the other weight class now. I'm possibly gonna end up going to 135. That's when a guy's really been holding on to that ranking spot for a while and trying to make a big fight happen. That's how you know that ranking spot has definitely been held on to. Because once you get to a certain spot as far as rankings, you're not trying to move back, go backwards, and lose your position and everything else. I'm just being honest. You don't want to lose your position with certain things when you're in that position. As far as being high ranked, top contender, number one contender, just got a title after all these years, 34 years old. Cacace feel like he's done enough. He did everything he could to try to become champion at 130. He did it. His body's starting to hit the reverse button. He's at that age now. Can't really cut down the weight like he used to. That last weight cut was probably felt like it was impossible. And going out to win the fight, he's probably just satisfied with that. But either way, it should be Sugar Nunez. If he vacates, Sugar Nunez is gonna be the mandatory or the guy who's might receive that vacant belt, depending on how everything goes. But that's a huge fight right now to me at 130. Because once that happens, all the guys who are moving up from 130, like Ray Ford, I think he's an excellent option for that belt between him and Sugar Nunez. That'll be a good fight. So if Cacace ends up moving away, I'd like to see Ray Ford step in and get the title fight, just because of what Ray Ford has done this year. He went out, had a tough toe-to-toe fight with Nick Ball, which I still think he's got the fight. Even though I'm a fan of Nick Ball too, I still think Ray Ford did enough to win that fight. He had Nick Ball busted up. Matter of fact, that fight was similar to what Usyk did to Fury. So I was kind of confused. I'm like, it's the same thing that Usyk did to Fury. Busted his nose in the late round, walked him down. Nick Ball really lost a lot of late rounds, so I was like, I don't know. I didn't really see anybody getting outboxed. But when you're aggressive and pressuring and throw a whole bunch of punches like Pitbull does, then the fans kind of get enamored with that, and they'll run off with that as dominating. And when people go look back at Pitbull's fights now, they're saying, oh, he was he wasn't dominating like I thought he was. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. And the Nick Ball situation is the same thing. He wasn't dominating like you said he was. Yeah, he was aggressive in the fight, and he was the aggressor. But at the end of the day, that's not what I'm talking about. In the Sugar Nunez fight, that should happen with the Cacace fight. Nick Ball, he's still at 126, so he's not an option. So you got guys like Ray Ford, who just fought Komatov, Nick Ball, possibly has one of the hardest resumes this year. I know people are saying Dubois, he's also a person who's fought tough competition. And he fought back-to-back. I think he fought in March or February, then turned around and fought that June. And 2 title fights. So he had 2 title fights in like 4 or 5 months. I know Nick Ball had 2 title fights too, but he lost one of the fights. So a lot of people say, man, how can a guy, I think it was a draw or something like that, but Ray Vargas still was dominating that fight either way. He didn't do enough to win. So with that being said, that whole division at 126 it's kind of getting cooked right now unless we have Inoue coming up. I think 130 is going to be the next division that's loaded. It's already loaded now, but it's a lot more options that's starting to come through. And I definitely think the whole Nick Ball fight with Ray Ford, it made sense to have it, but now that you got Sugar Nunez, Cacace in the situation, Ray Ford coming off that fight, yeah, he should be more involved with that. Especially if Cacace is going to move up. Now, hearing Eddie Hearn say something about mentioning the fight, about wait, hold on, let's try to make something happen, that probably ain't going to change Cacace's mind. If he said that at the age he's at and how long he's waited to become a champion, if he's put that information out there, that means he's serious. He's not trying to move away from that. So I would definitely stick to that point and that he's serious and he just wants to move on. But Cacace is a very good fighter, man. He really is. And at 135, it's gonna be tough. But he's going to have options, though. He definitely will have options. And he can still go back and possibly fight different guys, Baranchik, possibly Cordina, if they was able to do a rematch. But I don't think that would happen. But it's a lot of things, but I definitely can see that.